Cheryl, is that you? Hey, Cheryl, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, how are you? Oh, no, I can't hear you. Are you talking? Hi, Kim. Oh, who's that I can hear? Dawn? Okay, Kim, say hi. Can I hear you?
Hi.
Hello.
That's my family having dinner.
I know, mine is too. Oh my gosh.
Me too. Hi. You want to say hi more?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it's that kind of day.
Nice.
Calvin is one of my yellows today. And yes, I'm over a yellow, but I don't even care today. Just keeping it real. And then I also have my water, so I'm good.
Nice.
Oh, my daughter leaves tomorrow. I mean, we go tomorrow to Vegas for her volleyball tournament, and it's like my son had something yesterday, had tennis yesterday. She had all this stuff today. They're headed out. They're both headed out tonight to different things. They have a huge chemistry test, right? I mean, you're just all, you guys know the drill. It's like, oh. So, there you go.
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, good.
Oh, how do I do that?
Okay, but what's that ticking noise?
Sounds like a cricket.
Yeah, do y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
Like that. Cheryl, do you hear that?
I don't hear it now.
Well then.
John, how have you been? You guys, well, first let me ask that. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
John? Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Doing well. Sorry I couldn't make last week's call. It's life. One of those things just gonna happen. You roll with it.
Yep.
I've been super focused on inviting folks, getting my challenge group started. They start on Monday. So I have a total of 4, possibly 5. It'll be starting on Monday. So I'm excited about that.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Is that your best month?
Oh yeah. It's my second month.
That is your best month. I love it.
But still working, still work in progress, still trying to connect with people. That's one of my questions that I was going to ask you guys too. Like once you start your challenge group, do you kind of slow down the inviting until you get closer to your next challenge group? You know what I mean? Because what about I start this group this upcoming week, and if I keep inviting and then I get someone after a week and a half of my group starting, where do I put them? What do I do? How do you guys handle that?
Kim, do you have anything? I mean, I have a way that I handle it, but do you have anything? No.
I just follow you, Miss Kendra.
You're so good at connecting with people. Okay, so here, it's like you said, I always run a challenge group the third Monday of the month, like you're doing, for that reason. So I just invite like crazy. I will say that first week of the challenge group, that preseason, I still totally invite because I believe that people can get in preseason. Do you guys do preseason?
Right. Yes. Yes.
And so preseason, I totally invite people because I will say to them, we just started the group. The women in there are amazing. What we've been talking about is setting goals, how to take your pictures. I'll go over all that with you. You can go through the posts, blah, blah, blah. And people are fine. But once the group starts, I do kind of stop inviting unless, like in the beginning of my business, I wasn't to SC yet. So
Okay.
I will tell you honestly, I have about 7 links out of people that said they were going to be in my group this week or this month, and 1 has done it. So I will continue to, and everybody just keeps saying it's a matter of, oh God, it's so busy, I forgot. So by the end of next week, everyone will be in. That's typically how it goes. But I definitely get tricklers that first week of the group because they just, I think about things that I get sent like from my kids' sports teams or whatever, and it's like on my agenda to do, but I just like don't get to it. And so I try to remind myself that that's where maybe some of my like clients are, right? That they really want to, they just like get so busy they forget.
Okay.
So
you do actually slow down your technically start of your second week.
Yes, but what I will do actually is I will slow down kind of my, not slow, I mean, I'm always talking to people about what we do because I believe so strongly in it. If people really want to be a part of it, then I will tell them where we're at with the challenge group. I'll say, I will work with you one-on-one. You know, like if they want to, if we're like in week 2 and somebody like, we have a great conversation and they want to join or they want to purchase, then I'll say, okay, so here's what I offer these challenge groups. We are into week 2. I can certainly add you. And then at this, you know, when the next one comes, I'll just roll you right into it. Or you and I can just kind of work one-on-one. And then when the new group starts, I'll make sure that you're in that.
Okay, so you may do a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
that's kind of where, hey, my friend, that's kind of how I deal with that. Because I feel so strongly about now some people say you should stop inviting. I feel so strongly about the fact that what we have to offer is so life-changing that I don't feel like, well, if you haven't talked to me in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the month, then you're out. That feels funny to me. But the focus of my posts start to change after this week into more of coach posts. So typically I will do, like in my calendar, I will do like the first couple weeks, I will really talk mostly about the challenge groups. I might do a few little tiny coach posts here and there, but then like the last 2 weeks of the month, I am really intentional about posting about the coaching opportunity, like every single day. And that's that I have a coach basics that starts the first week of the month. And so that way I have something to put somebody in if they're new and they're new to what we're doing. And I will say, well, that's awesome. Let's get you started on your coach in the coach basics. And then let's have you do the challenge group on the 3rd Monday, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
But
awesome.
Certainly with customers, one-on-one. Which kind of leads right into what we're talking about tonight. Amethyst and I wanted to share with you, and I'll start and then Amethyst will jump right in. And we won't keep you too long tonight because I'm going to post a video in here that I posted in our team page last night that got me thinking about this topic and putting words to some kind of what I already do and what Amethyst already does and him, and that we really stress on our team. But we want to talk about the importance of that one-on-one connection. And there is like I said, a personal development call I'm going to put in this page by a guy named Craig Holliday, an amazing man. If you know anything about California, he lives in Southern California. Have you guys ever heard of Rick Warren's Purpose-Driven Life? Have you ever heard of that? Okay.
Very good book.
Book about how each of us was created with a purpose.
Yes.
It is he is a Christian, so I'm just going to make that clear. So he just talks about, though, his perspective of whatever your beliefs are, you were created with a purpose. And that that God created you with a purpose, and that's what gives you, meaning and direction in your life. And so part of what this book is about is discovering what your purpose is and how that ultimately is going to bring you joy. Okay, so it's an incredible, incredible book. And I have friends that are of all different faiths that have read it. And the premise and the points of the book are amazing and really powerful. So anyways, Craig Holliday was at Rick Warren's church, and he ended up he kind of helped him and mentored him, but he really believes that every human being, again, no matter where you're from, no matter what color you are, no matter who you were created with a purpose. And that our job, and so he's worked with hundreds of Beachbody coaches. He's been hired by Beachbody to come to like our big summit and all sorts of things like that. So he's an incredible, if you can listen to any personal development or podcast from him, I would highly recommend him. But this call that I'm going to post in our team page about is about the importance of connecting. And we sometimes get lost in, I've got to hit SC, and I've got to hit this goal, and I've got to rank advance. And although our number one priority is to change lives and to help people and to serve people, we have that. And this was a great reminder about the importance of people and how it's so important to be the person that when you talk to somebody about Beachbody, that you actually don't really start off talking to them about Beachbody. You're not sitting down and talking with them about your business. Your purpose and your goal should be to sit down with them and just learn about them. That's our job. And if we learn about them and he's built a multi-million dollar business on this premise, that if you simply spend time getting to know people, then whatever it is that you believe in that you're sharing with them, they'll want to be a part of. And I will tell you that my rate of return, if you will, increases even more when I take the time to sit with people. And that's really my heart. So there was a while kind of in the middle of my business where Melanie was really challenging me, like, stop spending so much time with people. You're not getting paid enough to spend so much time with people. And I just have to tell you, my heart is that's where I love that one-on-one, like trying to get to know people, because I think only when we truly spend time getting to know people do we understand what their fears are. Do we understand what their failures have been in the past, especially when it comes to weight loss or body image or these issues that are really real and personal and raw, especially to women. Our job is that we become a confidant with these really intense issues, and we need to sit down and spend time with people to get to know them. And so one of the suggestions he makes that if you have a prospect, whether like a potential client that you're sharing with, who's really, really interested and wants to meet and hear all the details, or you have a person who just purchased from you, then you schedule like a sit down. He calls it a sit down. And if you're local, it should be face-to-face in person over coffee or whatever. If you like to go for drinks, whatever you like to do, whatever's your personality. And if it's across the country or in another location, then you do a Zoom call where you can see each other face-to-face. And his challenge was, if we're not willing to spend an hour to an hour and a half getting to know this person who just purchased from us or who just did this, then he said we might want to consider why we're in this business. And for me personally, and for what we're teaching our team, that's our mentality, is that we are not just about selling stuff and even just sharing stuff. We're truly about getting to know somebody and then coming alongside them and helping them with their goals. And so I want to encourage you. I put together for my team, and I'm happy to share it here, a list of just 10 jumpstart questions. Because I know that for some people, like, this is very natural for my personality, but I've learned with some of the members of my team, that's not natural for them. Now, Amethyst will talk in just a minute about the fact that that's natural for her. That's how she started her business. That's her personality. But like I said, I have two coaches on my team who they don't like this. They don't really like getting that personal. They don't feel very confident. So giving them this list of questions to ask, whether it's on the phone, because they both work full time, whether it's on the phone when they're driving to work and they're setting that call for 20 minutes or whatever, and they can only do 20 to 25 minutes because they don't have an hour and a half, because they work from 7 or 8 in the morning until 7 at night. But, whatever. You figure out a time that works for you. But the initial call they do is 25 minutes, then they will do another one. But they needed these questions to help them. But the goal is constantly to remember that our job is to get to know the other person. And the only way we can do that is to ask questions and then just sit back and listen to the answer. And when we ask questions and we show that we're open to really getting to know the person, then we're going to be able to understand them better and come alongside them. So that's really important as you're looking to build your business. There are a lot of Beachbody coaches, right? And some people get kind of worried about that. And I want to tell you that if you are authentically you, number one, and number two, you take the time to spend with people getting to know them, you are going to set yourself apart from other coaches because you genuinely care and you're going to learn about the fine details. I had a client tell me that she used to be a dancer, and so I automatically assumed size is the one for her. And I'm thinking, yeah, I got this. And a little bit later in the conversation, she went on to talk about how much stress and pressure dance put on her, how she never felt like her body was good enough to be on the dance team. And she had all these issues attached to dance. And when it was my, we got to the end of the conversation kind of, or my opportunity to kind of share with her what we have. And I was really honest with her. I said, I thought initially size, this one program, so this might be good down the future. But right now it sounds like you really need a break from any kind of dance thing, even though that's what you've always done. You need a break because you need to see that you can have success without being, confined to dance. And she got teary-eyed and she's like, that's exactly what I need. And had I not remembered to just listen and ask her the questions, I wouldn't have known to go a little deeper with that and then help her make a decision based on really what she needs, not what she's familiar with. So that's just one little example. Em, go ahead. Talk about.
Hi, ladies. Good to see you here. I know it's crazy to hop on, so thanks for joining us. And I hope you guys are having awesome weeks. And I'd love to hear about any successes you guys are having and challenges. But I'll just go on Kendra's prompting first. Yeah, when Kendra asked me to be a coach, I said no, several times. And when I finally said yes, I said, I'll do it, but I am not posting on Facebook ever. And she's like, that's totally fine, whatever, do what you need to do. And so what I did is I literally just made lunch dates with my friends, people who had talked to me in the past about, wanting to lose weight, wanting to get fit, having body, issues or whatever, people who I was close to. And I remember one time, I think I was at Panera for 3 hours. I had person after person coming and visiting my table. Like I was like a counselor or something. It was so funny. But I did just that. I just, first of all, was just, you have to honor your friendship, especially for people who you already have relationships with. I started with people I already had relationships with. And I will say that Kendra did that awesome. She never, ever pushed Beachbody on me. I don't think she ever even talked to me about it. I knew she was doing it because I saw her every day on Facebook. And it was always kind of funny to me that she never brought it up. And then when I brought it up, she was like, oh, I'm so glad you're interested. I just never, ever want my friends to feel pressured. And that was really honoring to me because I'm one of her best friends and she could have easily been like, okay, do this with me. I've heard you talk about your struggles in the past, but she didn't. And so I went to my friends and of course we would just talk like we normally would, right? And want to hear about their kids and their husbands and their families and the work, whatever. And then when they would just ask me about me, I would say, well, this is so crazy, but listen to what I'm doing, and listen to the success that I have had. And I never in a million years would have dreamed that I would have had success.
I would have dreamed that you would have.
Laughter break. Okay.
Here we are. This is how we do life together.
That's awesome.
All the good stuff.
And that can be part of the conversation too.
It typically is with your girlfriends, right?
I'm blushing. Okay. I never thought I would have had success with a program like this. I was, a total skeptic. And so I was always really real about what a skeptic I was. And I still am. And I really try to project that on my page because, you need to be who you were, you need to talk to the person that you were. And so I just said I was a total skeptic. I knew, Shakeology was really expensive. I wasn't sure about it. And then I would just share my story. And that is really your biggest ticket to success because nobody can argue with your story, right? And so tell them your experience and then, then you can kind of move, and then they'll be like, wow, I need something like that. Or I've tried something like that before. I don't like shakes or, whatever. They'll jump on whatever you were sharing with about. And then you just start, asking them questions like Kendra said, well, how are you doing with your health and fitness? How is that program that you were doing? How's that book that you've been reading? are you going to the gym? Are you running? Whatever, about them. So just really, I know that some of you are just starting, really, I might be giving you conflicting information because Kendra didn't bring it up to me. And I'm saying go and talk to your friends. But typically it will come up. I think Kendra was just very, very careful with me because we're so close. But, if you're telling them your story, like if Kendra had a huge transformation and I would have been like, Kendra, you lost all that weight. Like if I had met with Kim and I knew Kim before, I've been like, whoa, your face is so thin. What did you do? Kendra didn't have a huge transformation on the outside, but she has on the inside, right? So that would have naturally come up, right? So anyway, I just want to encourage you that there is such value in meeting people face to face. I had my first 3 clients, honestly, in Panera that day. And I still do that today. So I'll go walking with ladies. I'll try to keep active, and consistent with my message. I just had lunch. We had a big salad with a gal just last week, and she signed up. And there is something super valuable. And I know that you can't always do that if you've got little kids and you've got busy times, but if you can get away on the weekend, even just like carve out a couple hours on every Saturday, tell your husband if you have little kids, I want to invest in my business and people, like just for 3 hours on a Saturday, and choose your place and, go to the park or go to a coffee shop or whatever. And people, Beachbody aside, people want to be loved, right? They want to know that you care about them. And you don't have like an ulterior motive, you just want, if they choose to want to know what's helped you, then you're going to share that with them, right? It's like, if you've got a gift, why would you just keep it to yourself, right? But you want to extend that and just say, if you're interested, this helped me, So anyway, I just want to encourage you that it does take time, and like Kendra said with Melanie saying, you're not getting paid for this, but if eventually, and if you got people who sign up and they love it, you are getting paid for it. You'll get the residual income over time, but more, you'll have the satisfaction of being able to help others and knowing, my only working coach her name's Dana. And she said, I'm afraid to do this. I don't think I can do this. Like even be a part of Beachbody, not even as a coach. And she's like, I'm really scared. She really communicated this emotion of fear. And now she's a coach and she's lost 30 pounds and she's doing so awesome. And I just love reflecting back and saying, remember how scared you were? And like, you have come so far. And if I hadn't talked to her, and now she had moved out of the state by the time she signed up, but we had a long conversation over the phone. And sometimes you can't sit face to face with somebody.
Right.
And because I listened to her, I knew that she had fear, right? And then I'm able to always come back and say, look at how amazing you're doing despite your fear, despite what it was that caused you to have trepidations about starting. So anyway, just want to echo everything Kendra said and do just invest. Our goal in life beyond Beachbody is just to develop relationships, right? And to let people know that they are loved and that we care for them. And if they never sign up, but you've communicated love to them, then you've won.
Absolutely. Amethyst, that's perfectly said. And that's really the mission of our team, Team LT. And I know you guys, both of you, Dawn and Cheryl, have amazing coaches. So they care deeply about people, right? And that's what we're here to do. And it's so few and far between that people actually genuinely care about one another. And it's really powerful and life-changing when we do. So what kind of questions do you have about this topic? Any questions you have in your business? How does that make you feel to think, gosh, I've got to seriously sit down with people or talk to people over the phone? Or I will say this, one of the suggestions I gave to my coach, who this is really, like I said, this is not a natural gift for them or something that they actually even enjoy that much. They're learning to enjoy it more, but because there was fear there. But one of the things I encouraged her to do is to put in her earphones. And when she did her phone call, then to also do a little bit of multitasking, like if she had laundry to do, because she just felt like she wasn't equipped enough. And so it kind of frightened her a little bit to just like sit and stare, at somebody either over the computer or across the table to talk about these issues. But when we talked about the questions she could ask and we gave her something else to do while she was on the phone, kind of multitasking, in the beginning, that really helped to just like ease that anxiety of being like the person that's asking the questions and listening. And then over time, she realized, oh my gosh, this is so natural. I'm already kind of doing this because I care about people. It was just a little bit more structured way to get to know somebody. So it doesn't have to look exactly like this. The point is to just make sure that you're focusing on getting to know other people and caring about them. So any questions about this? Any thoughts about this topic? Anything that comes to mind, like anything?
I'll share something. I had my first challenge group, I had one person. So it was kind of like a one-on-one challenge group. And this person has been a friend of mine forever. We went to grade school all the way through high school, did some college together, all that. And then we kind of went our separate ways, and we've reconnected through this, which has been a gift in itself. But we went through this first challenge group, and she lost no weight. She was doing the right things, but no results, which is very frustrating for her. She's always had issues with being heavier. She's always had struggles losing weight. And it's really hurts her confidence quite a bit. And so when that group ended, I gave her a call, and we talked for over an hour. And I hate talking on the phone. Like at work, I don't answer my phone. Like, I'll leave a message, email me, whatever. But that was like the best conversation, because I learned so much about somebody that I've known for so long. I had no idea. And she talked about what her struggles have been. Like I asked her, it just kind of dawned on me, do you have any thyroid issues, that might be contributing to the fact that you're not losing weight? But I said, you're not gaining weight either, which is a good thing. But, we drilled down more. I just asked question after question, and, she really opened up and shared. So we're kind of taking a different approach this time around. And, she's kind of, Mom, my clothes are fitting a little different, and, like, that's awesome, and that's something you can't really do through an email. So I found it very valuable and connecting. And so just wanted to share that experience.
Great. Good job, Cheryl.
Example.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Anything else about that? Kim, you've been super intentional about this.
I just unmuted you, sorry, because people are doing dishes and I never want to say be quiet if they're doing dishes for me.
Exactly. Girl, you just take that. We don't mind a little clanging around.
Okay. So yeah, this last weekend I went on 2 hikes with 2 friends, which is really big for me to actually go on hikes.
You're fine.
I was fearful that I wouldn't be able to keep up, or I'd get winded, or, so that's woohoo, right? But in talking with these 2 friends, one signed up, and then one is super interested. She's just going on vacation. So I'm sure she'll sign up maybe next month. But yeah, so just having the conversations and sharing, like you were just saying, like just telling your story, and a lot of listening, and just sharing has really, I think, opened some doors. I did a pretty personal post on Saturday, which got a ton of feedback, a lot of positive response. And then I followed up with 4 people and had a really nice long phone conversation with a high school friend last night, and she signed up. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yay! So I'm really excited.
Good.
It'll be great.
Awesome. It's really hard, I think, when you can talk to people like each of you are sharing, and you share your heart, like it just comes across so differently. There's not that need to feel like, no, it's not necessarily for me. Now, some people still totally do that, but they get to see your heart and your passion, and it's not just about selling something. And I think that that's what changes people's mind to be open, at least. Doesn't mean they join, but it means that they're open because they see that you just have a heart, and you're not going to like, I mean, you care, but you're not going to like not be friends if they don't sign up right now. You just want to share with them something that's really, really helpful.
Yeah. I called one of my challengers who I know has been struggling. And I said, hey, we've been playing phone tag. And I said, how's it going? Tell me about life. And she's like, so you want to know about like how I'm doing with my health and fitness? And I said, no, I don't. I want to know what's going on with your marriage and, what's going on in your life that I've been praying about for you. And she's like, oh. And then she went on and shared about her life, for 30 minutes. And then in the end, she's like, yeah, and I think I want to, I probably should do another challenge group because I'm struggling, making myself a priority, and it just kind of hit home. Like we have to be very careful about that. And again, Kendra is great about this even to this day. Even though I've been a coach since April, she never talks to me about Beachbody unless I'm like, okay, we need to talk about this because
we have our assigned Beachbody calls at once. I'm like, no, because it's because of that. It's so important that my friends know you're my friend.
Yeah.
Before and beyond this business.
Mm-hmm. And so that's super important. She's a good example of that. But even with the people we aren't as close with, if they're customers, they need to become our friends, and we need to show that we know about their life outside of their, health and fitness and ask about their kids. And they may not tell you everything, but if you happen to know, so then this gal, she texted me today, can you please pray for me? And because she knows that I listened and she knows that I know what's going on. And so, what a gift, right? Like, I don't care about a sale, I don't care about anything like that, but she knows that I care for her. So those things are harder to accomplish over instant messenger or, Facebook Messenger or whatever. So.
And this is a good reminder to me. I mean, Amethyst is being very gracious, but that if we are someone's coach, then they're looking to us for coaching, right? And so there is figuring out that balance of loving somebody unconditionally and without any strings attached, and that being the primary thing, but also knowing that it's okay to step into the role of coach. And you can tell even after all these, even after 2.5 years of doing this, I'm still learning how to do that, right? Because it's so important to me that I can sometimes err on the side of being so cautious that, and it's funny, only with my super close friends, right? Isn't that interesting? So, we're always trying to figure out how to balance our life and our business when they're so intertwined.
Yeah. Hey, ladies, I would love to hear how you're doing with your goals. Since last time we talked about goals, how are you guys doing and, meeting those, or are there struggles that we can talk about and encourage you with?
I'll go. So my goal was to have SC5, right? That's helping 2 people. And so I've reached that. Yay. Yay. And then sort of a private one, I guess, is to be a little more real in my posts and share a little bit more personal and not be so frightened, because that is super scary. Oh my gosh, that post on Saturday when I hit send, I just sat there. My stomach turned. I started to panic. I should delete it. I thought, well, maybe I should give it an hour. Maybe if somebody says something nice, I can leave it. And then I thought, you know what? What's the worst thing will happen? Right? Worst case scenario, somebody stops following me because I think I'm whack, or I'm bothering them, or I'm taking up their news feed. Right? That's the worst thing that can happen. But what if somebody is in the shoes that I was in last June and they have this aha moment, right? That takes precedence or is bigger than my fear. So then I was okay with it.
It's powerful, Kim.
You did.
So I would just say, be fearless. What's the worst that'll happen? So my private goal is to do that, A. And then B, to do a live video, I think, on my page at some point. I put it out there today that I'm going to do it by the time I'm 50, which is on the 28th. So, not sure.
What did you say your goal is the 28th?
Yeah, that's my birthday. So I have to do a live video on my page by the time the 28th comes.
Okay.
But like,
Your
voice is really high.
You've been doing a live video every day in this page, and you're awesome at it. You're awesome.
Okay, thank you.
You're just not used to hearing your own voice. That's all.
Yeah, it's super goofy. I'm like, I sound like that really well. Anyway, so those are my 2 goals. I'm working on them.
That's great. Good job.
Awesome.
Good job.
You know, I like to see the videos that are a little goofy and stuff going on in the background anyway. They're more interesting than the polished ones anyway.
Right.
Yep. All right, we've got 4 minutes left. Who else?
You go, Dawn.
What about you? Anything?
So my goal for a month was like Kim's, is to hit Success Club 5, and I did help 2 customers sign up for the all access.
Yay.
That's 6 points.
Yeah.
And then I have 3 folks that signed up for just the all access, not the challenge pack.
Yep.
And because it's my first real challenge group, I need the bodies. I mean, to kind of, engage them. And I've had a one-on-one conversation with them about not advertising that they're not drinking the Shakeology. And I know some people kind of think that's a no-no, but it's my first time and I'm taking what I can get at this moment so I can build relationships with them. But hopefully seeing through the challenge group and the 2 that have and are using Shakeology, and when we talk about it, that they'll start seeing those benefits themselves, and hearing the other 2 ladies talk about how well, good they feel and what they're getting from the Shakeology, where I can see potentially them also maybe trying out Shakeology as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's important, as you guys have all mentioned, about, building those relationships and kind of seeing where it goes. And that's kind of what I'm doing for this one. And I have 2 people that want to sign up for March, and I don't, count anything until they actually sign up and do it. So I feel like I kind of have a little bit of a pipeline going into March. I'm also starting to try and plan more, strategically looking at the calendar to say, okay, when is going to be my next launch? What day is that going to fall on? Or is it going to be in March? What about if it doesn't work out and I don't get anybody? What's my backup plan? My alternative. I'm not very creative with the whole coming up with a theme. So I've been using my husband. He's more creative than I am. And I'm like, I need a theme for March. Help me think of one. And so now he's like a part of it. He's like recruiting people for me too.
Oh, that's great.
I love it.
So, making progress and
Who's
learning.
your upline coach again?
Melanie,
Okay.
Metro.
Can you put like 2 coaches together so that you have more, like, can the 2 of you do your challenge group together?
You can, and I did that with her for the one in January because I only had 1 person.
Okay.
Into her group. But now that I've got 2 plus the other 3 that are doing just the fitness program, that's 5. And I'm like, well, that's not shabby. I did hear somebody on one of the calls, I don't remember which one, sorry, someone talking about partnering with someone else and like kind of sharing the responsibilities of the challenge tracker app and making you kind of a bigger group so they'd have more engagement and participation. Which I kind of thought about that, but I'm still learning and figuring it all out.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. Great job.
And practicing videos like Kim.
I love it. I love you guys. I absolutely love seeing your videos in this page. And I love that you're engaging with one another, that you're supporting one another, that you're coming up with ideas, that you're trying stuff out. That is the safety of this group, and that we're all growing together. So it's awesome to see this happening. I'm really proud of you guys. Really proud.
Yeah.
Cheryl, will you post how you're doing on your goals, since we have less than a minute and we didn't get to hear from you?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. Good job. Good job, Kim and Dawn. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right, you guys,
You're
have a
welcome.
great week. Go after it. And
Okay.
I'll post the call and then that
Okay.
other call with Craig Holiday. You can listen to it when you want to.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, good
Night,
night.
ladies.
Good night.
Bye.